What if the real question this week isn't who will the Lakers trade for, but who do the Lakers want to be? Are we a team that squeezes every ounce out of continuity with Rui Hachimura maturing into a true long-term power forward? Or are we one bold phone call away from flipping the wing rotation for a fresh two-way punch like Andrew Wiggins? And more importantly, what actually gets this group closer to crushing the West when the games slow down and every possession is a fistfight? Let's talk like fans who live this every day. Because if you've watched this team night after night, you've seen two truths pulling in opposite directions. Truth one, Rui has quietly become the hinge that makes the front court make sense size, touch, and a calm mid-range that settles storms when the offense stalls. Truth two, the Lakers still lack a switchable point-of-attack wing who can chase. Elite scorers through screens for 38 minutes in May. That's where the Wiggins conversation stops being a rumor and starts being a blueprint question about how we're going to win 4 rounds. Start with Rui. He's not a headline chaser. He's a possessions winner. Put him at the 4. Give him a clear diet early seals, short roll pockets, weak side crashes, and he turns low drama minutes into high leverage margins. He spaces just enough to keep drivers honest. He punishes smalls on the block without hijacking the offense, and he's disciplined about cutting into gaps when eyes are on our stars. The box score never screams, but the scoreboard nods. The decision for the front office isn't, is Rui good? It's, is Rui the 4 we want to grow with for 3 springs in a row? Because the playoffs are a different sport. The West is an obstacle course of jumbo creators and power guards, Shy living at the nail, Booker and Durant toggling mismatches, and attacking the rim like it owes him money. Against that diet, the Lakers need a wing who can absorb the first hit slide twice and still contest without fouling. That's why Wiggins keeps coming up. At his best, he is a glove that fits the games that decide seasons. Strong enough for bigger wings, quick enough for star guards, and locked in enough to win a closeout on the road. Add the offensive rebounding and the quiet 18 to 20 he can give. You without touches, and suddenly late series possessions look less desperate, more deliberate. Now, the math. Fit means nothing if the CBA laughs you off the trade machine. Any realistic construction begins with salary ballast, and Rui's contract lands in the sweet spot, meaningful money without the no-go of long-term obligations. Pairing him with a medium deal thinking expiring guard or a defensive forward on a movable year gets you into range for a wing like Wiggins if his current team prioritizes financial flexibility. There are paths that don't include Rui, but they get messy fast. Multiple contracts, extra teams, and a price and picks that can choke your future. If the counterpart is Miami, the framework is even clearer. They've created trade exceptions in recent deals, and they care about clean books, which means they don't need perfect dollar-for-dollar symmetry to say yes. Rui's timeline money that ends before the 2026 summer is the kind of expiring control that appeals to a front office chasing flexibility, while a wing like Wiggins carries an option decision that can cloud their cap. In that scenario, Rui, plus a medium contract and a protected pick, checks the boxes without strangling your future. You give them optionality, and you get the specific defender you've been missing. So why even entertain it? Because Wiggins, when locked in, tilts series. Remember the version that chased elite scores baseline to baseline while still getting you second chance points with pogo stick rebounds? That guy changes how you defend pick and roll, how you switch late clock, how you survive when you're big sit. He doesn't need the ball to help you win, and on nights when his rhythm returns, he can be a 20-point pressure valve without calling his own number. For a club that sometimes stretches to manufacture stops on the wing, that profile matters. And yet, here's the part too many people skip. If you flip Rui, you're not just trading a player, you're trading a shape. The current front court geometry star at the 5 commanding doubles. Connector at the 3 bending the defense. Rui at the 4 as the quiet counterpunch has a rhythm. It's a tempo you can trust when the game muddies. Remove Rui and Your defensive rebounding changes, your second units lose a stabilizer, and your late-game ATOs have one fewer wrinkle, that empty corner slip he's starting the time with clock awareness. Every move is a trade-off. This one trades steadiness for edge. Let's talk timeline, because windows matter. The Lakers did their homework in the off-season veteran toughness here, playmaking insurance there, and yet the roster still feels one defender short against the West Apex Wings. You can survive that in January. You can in May. That's why this decision sits between two clocks. Clock 1. Keep Rui, lean into internal jumps, and revisit at the deadline with a clearer map of who you actually are. Clock 2. Strike. Early, bank the learning curve with your new wing, and let your top-end rotation marinate for months instead of weeks. Here's the honest middle. You can test the market without selling the farm. Call around. Gauge whether the current Wiggins situation is stable or fluid. If the team holding his rights is angling for clean books, an offer built on expiring control has gravity Rui plus one medium contract gives the other side optionality next summer, while you get the defender you crave today. Sprinkle and draft. Capital with protections that keep you safe if things tilt the wrong way. Responsible aggressiveness, that's the phrase. Now, for everyone asking, why not target a traditional 3-and-D wing who shoots 40% and guards 1 through 4? Because those guys don't move unless you pay a star price, and even then, they pick their destinations. Wiggins is the rare middle path, lower acquisition cost than a top 5 stopper, higher playoff impact than a pure spacer who vanishes. When asked to dribble twice, he comes with variance. He also comes with the exact body type and defensive instincts that matter when the bracket gets mean. All this sits on an even larger question the fan base has argued about for 2 seasons. What is Rui's ceiling in purple and gold? If you believe he's a 30-minute playoff 4 who punishes switches, holds his own on bigger wings, and keeps climbing as a helper, you don't move him lightly. You give him the runway, you invest in the reps, and you bet that a full season of defined usage yields the player we caught glimpses of in big moments. If instead you see Rui as a high-end innings eater who tops out as a stabilizer, then he becomes the kind of contract you consider moving to change the team's defensive soul. Let's be real about risk. Wiggins has had stretches where the motor dips. He may face an option decision that can complicate planning for both sides. Health and rhythm matter for everyone, but for wings who rely on sliding their feet and exploding into rebounds, they matter doubly. On the other side, keeping Rui locks in a style he will not morph into your primary stopper. If you keep him, you're saying we will guard elite wings by committee, with scheme and size and timely traps, and we will win the possession game with discipline. Here's what I love about the current Lakers room and why any move has to honor it. There's a grown-up tone to the work. Veterans teach, young guys listen. The travel days don't feel like noise. Rui is a part of that. So is the idea of adding a battle-tested wing who has lived a deep run and understands role acceptance. You're not detonating chemistry with either path. You're editing the table of contents. Make sure the new chapter matches the book. Mid-row real talk for the family. If you're rocking with this breakdown, drop a like and make sure you're subscribed to Lakers News Fan Report. I want this community in the room for every twist cap nuances, rumor smoke checks, and the film will grind when matchups start to crystallize. Back to it. So what's the blueprint if the phones actually heat up? Step 1. Signal interest without bidding against ghosts. Step 2. Frame the value around flexibility for the other side expirings. A clean cap horizon, and a pick that has teeth without putting your future in a chokehold. Step 3. Be ready to walk if the ass touches your core or strips to rotation. Pieces you can't replace. Remember, a trade is not an Instagram post. It's 82 games of rebalancing and 4 rounds of problem solving. There's also a creative lane. Here as smart teams explore the 3-team construction. If the direct dance partner values a different archetype than you can send, loop in. A third club that needs shooting or size and root contracts accordingly. You preserve your rotation, the other side gets the exact flavor it wants, and the middle team grabs a pick for its trouble. This is how contenders act when the margins matter. They solve 3 problems with one set of phone calls, rotation-wise. Picture both outcomes. Keep Rui and your closing 5 can look like star big point creator, secondary playmaker. Rui at the 4 and a defender shooter at the 2. It's sturdy, it's physical, it travels. Pivot to Wiggins and you unlock a different closing shell. Wing heavy, switch everything lineups where your center can play at the level without living in foul trouble because the nail is protected. And the corners are trusted. Against the league's heliocentric engines, that's priceless. Drill into skill. On offense, Wiggins gives you violent straight-line drives against tilted defenses and the kind of offensive rebounding wing that steals 4 points a night. On defense, his best gift isn't the block or the steal. It's the possession that never turns into a shot because the ball handler never found daylight. Rui's superpower, by contrast, is sovereignty. When you throw him the ball in a tough spot, he doesn't panic. He either gets you a clean look or he resets the possession without waste. In playoff basketball, both gifts carry real currency. Draft capital always stings, so structure it with intention. If you send the first, protect it on sensible terms, top 10 or top 12. Allow it to roll once, then convert to seconds, so you're not trapped by Steppian purgatory. Attach a swap in a year where you believe your floor is higher. Keep one clean first for emergency use. This is how you stay aggressive without mortgaging the next 4 Junes. There's a cultural component too. Rui's quiet confidence has been glue for younger guys. Copy the habits. Keep the noise low. Stack good days. Wiggins, meanwhile, has proven he can slide next to stars without ego and do the inglorious work on the biggest stage. Either choice respects the locker room's DNA, accountability, clarity, and the humility to chase the hard things. If you pressed me at a bar and said, pick a path, I'd say this: the front office should posture for both with thresholds that don't waver. If the price for Wiggins lands inside the expiring plus pick lane, you lean in, because playoff defense on wings is the scarcest currency in basketball. If it creeps in the 2 starters or premium youth, you back away and double down on Rui's growth plan. The beauty is that both choices can win if the commitment is clean. If the door opens for Wiggins and the price lands in a reasonable bucket, you do it with clarity. You're not trading for a savior. You're trading for a specific 35 minutes. In a specific series where a specific star keeps hurting you, and you need someone who can absorb that job so your engines can breathe. That's the kind of roster decision that doesn't trend for a day. It pays rent in late. May, I'll finish where we started with identity. The Lakers can be a team that wins by being bigger, calmer, and more patient than everyone else, with Rui as the quiet compass at the 4. Or they can be a team that bets on perimeter menace and playoff nastiness, importing a wing whose best nights change the temperature of an arena. Both are coherent. Both honor the stars. The wrong choice isn't picking one path. It's pretending. You can live in both and letting the deadline pick for you. So ask yourself as a fan, when the game is tied with 2:47 left in Denver, what do you want on the floor? A 4 who will punish a switch, live on the glass, and give you clean trips. Or a wing who will sit in the stance, shade a right hand, and make someone else take a tough shot under a heavy chest? That your answer is the front office's answer. That's the truth behind the rumor mill. That's the blueprint hidden inside a headline about Rui Hachimura's future and a phone call about Andrew Wiggins. And the way you choose to win is the only rumor that ever turns into a banner.